pay you to see the hand. I'll pay you cash. Cash money, cash money.
We're too good of friends. I can't take your money.
So you're bluffing me?
Have I showed you one?
Show him that one.
Yeah, you showed everyone a huge one.
That's when I was a fish. I learned a couple of things.
Phil getting pushed around today.
I never win.
And cue the world's tiniest violins for Phil Locke.
I jump in a cab to come to the Rio. The cab driver goes, "You going to play some poker?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "So where are you from?" I go, "From Australia." He goes, "Oh, really? So you come all the way over here to play poker?" I go, "Yeah, it's a hell of a way to come to chase a dream." And he goes, "Hey, that fella a couple of years ago, Joe Hashem, he's from Australia, isn't he? He won it, man. He won the World Series." I go, "Yeah, you know what? I hope I can be the next Joe Hashem." He goes, "Good luck to you, my friend."
Since winning the World Championship in 2005, Joe has proved himself time and again. He is a serious contender.
Yes, he is, Lon. He's made 2 other World Series final tables, a World Series circuit final table, and he won a WPT title for $2.2 million.
He makes a bet of $12,000 on the river. His opponent, Rafe Adler, calls, and Joe shows a full boat.
And I've said it before, he just has the look of a champion.
Never knew where I was in the Hansel River.
Feel good on the river?
The river I knew where I was. Before that, I had no idea where I was in the river.
Joe was one of a handful of former main event champs in the room. That family photo belongs to 2003 champ Chris Moneymaker.
Moneymaker has not had the same success as Hashem. He's only cashed in 3 events in the last 5 World Series, and he has yet to cash in the main event again.
Chris facing a bet of $20,000 from his opponent Eric Bunch, and Chris is forced to fold.
Chris trying to make it to day 3 and the money here in the main event.
There's Johnny Chan, who has his tournament life on the line. He pushed all in, waiting on Sean Chacon to call or fold.
I call.
And Sean calls.
Chan has Chacon dominated here. You may recall Chacon from his battles with Mike Matiso at the 05 main event.
Ace-King, Johnny Chan all in against King-Jack of Chacon. And the flop is 8-Ace-Ace. That's a good flop for Johnny. Turn card now is a 9, and that is it. Chacon drawing dead. Johnny Chan doubles up.
4 times in 6 years starting in 1987. Chan finished first, second, and 7th at the main event.
But no cash at the main event since 1992. The main event bracelet waits patiently for its new owner. Defending champion Jerry Yang was knocked out earlier in this day 2 session. Gus Hansen would love his first bracelet to be the main event bracelet.
Everyone's playing loose except Gus. Okay?
Rock.
Loose. Solid.
Peter Costa with a wildly inaccurate description of the table.
The blinds are now at 4 and 800. All the loose players at the table fold. Over to the very tight Gus Hansen. Hansen, Jack 10 offsuit.
Gus is a citizen of Denmark, a resident of Monaco, and a gambler of the world.
Raises to 2,200. Table folds to Tom Lee. Tom looks down at Queen 9 offsuit from the big blind.
Lee, Vietnamese born, but he went to Penn State. A Nittany Lion for life.
He calls for 1,400 and will test his skills against Gus Hansen. The flop is King 10-9. Hansen gets middle pair. Lee is coming up short with bottom pair. Both with straight draws. Lee checks.
Gus just wrote a book about winning the Aussie Millions in which he details every hand he played. I don't know if I like poker that much.
Gus checks the flop. The 4 on the turn. Hansen still leads. Lee first to act. Up against the top pro. We'll check it. Hansen, 3,000.
This feels like a practice hand. Nobody's hitting hard. Put on the shoulder pads. Put on the helmets.
A call from Lee. Now the river card is another 4. Hansen earns the check mark. Lee's going to be safe again and check.
He's checked every step of the way.
Hansen will bet it. 5,600.
I thought Lee's nickname was Joker because he smiles at the table a lot. Where's that smile?
It's not here.
Well, this is where Gus's reputation sometimes pays off for him. People will call him down because they think he's posturing.
I call.
Lee will do just that. And he'll learn he has lost the hand.
I have a 10.
And Lee has a 9. 10s beat 9s. I learned that online last week.
So Tom Lee forced to give chips to the top pro at this feature table.
That still felt like a preseason pot.
That's not preseason. This is the real thing, the main event. All right, let's go back over to table 2. Phil Locke is ahead after the flop, holding pocket 8s. His opponent, Mo Saquin, flopped an open-ended straight draw.
Every pot with Phil Locke feels like postseason poker.
He checks as well. And now the turn card is a 5, and Saquin hit the 9 high straight. He's first to act. Makes it 3,500 to stick around.
Remember what you said earlier, Phil? You can't win.
He makes the call. He was ahead. He's no longer ahead. River card is a 4. Saquin earns the check mark. He's got the straight. And Mo puts out 10,000 this time.
You're doing it again to me, huh?
In a different way.
I won't bluff you twice.
It feels like I had you and then you got me. That's the sick thing.
Saquin got him on the turn.
I got you beat. If you take that long, lay it down.
I told you you're going to show me, right?
Yeah, I'll show.
Why are you betting so much? You bet 2,500 when the pot was like 1,800 about 6 years ago, and you just had me crush. He said everything right to get me to call. It's like genius. He's a rocket scientist of getting the guy to call. The part about he'll show me, too, that's like just cincher. Just like, yeah, put your money in.
Phil screwing himself into the ground quite eloquently.
All right, show me.
Locke correctly lays it down, and that is the planter's good instinct moment.
Good lay down, good lay down.
Phil had a bad feeling about that hand. Luckily, he followed his gut.
6-8? That's a straight. I got lucky. I just went into the back of my head and flipped the coin. It came out odds, and I was like, odds did I fold? I really wanted to call, but the coin sat there in the back of my head.
I said I show and you don't call.
I thought coin flips were heads and tails. The coin came up odds?
A good laydown for Phil Locke that time.
The Planter's Good Instinct moment is brought to you by Planters. Instinctively good. The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Take care, guys.
Back at the Rio, Diego Cordovez is gone.
Diego finished 67th at the main event a year ago.
On the E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker, you see 466 players survived the first Day 2 session. Over 1,100 remain in this Day 2 session. And contrary to popular belief, poker is not frenetic wall-to-wall action. There's a lot of downtime.
There's 2008 bracelet winner Nanad Medic playing solitaire on his iPod and taking down a pot at the same time. Geez, I can't even power my iPod on.
Back at our feature table, Gus Hansen appears a bit indifferent to the tasks at hand.
Well, on the main event is grueling. Gus once played poker 72 hours straight, not because he was prepping for the main event, just because he was losing.
All right, action continues at this featured table. Folds over to Andreas Torbergsen, 23-year-old from Norway. Gus Hansen was an early poker idol of his. Ace-10 offsuit.
He's a student at Trondheim University. I believe they are the Demon Deacons.
2,300 is the raise from Torbergsen into his poker idol, Gus Hansen. Jack-9 offsuit. In the big blind, he makes the call for 1,500 more.
Gus Hansen very mellow today.
So Hansen and Torbergsen. Flop is 8-King-7. A straight draw for